Good morning. I remember this story. It's from 2020. So I must have talked about this back then, 6 years ago. I want to tell you again because it brings back some good memories for me. So it's about football players in the United States, American football players. So they tested a team. You remember the test, of course, PCR test. And the whole team tested positive. 77 players. But they got suspicious. I mean, the team, they thought, this is weird because nobody's sick. So they did it again. They got another result. And then they all tested negative. Fantastic story. Now, of course you remember this. If you are unvaccinated, like I am, and you try talking to people back then, back in 2020, right? And also 21, 22, this was very difficult, wasn't it? People turned away. People got scared, uncomfortable. They hated you for talking about it. They didn't want to hear it, right? Now, what's amazing here, I think, is now, still, today, it's very difficult to talk about this thing. They may listen, right? But it makes them very uncomfortable. So what is this? And I believe it's like this. How people think and how they act, it's more or less routine. What's going on in their minds, it's basically the same things. So they don't think differently today, see? And they don't act differently. It's very hard for them to break the habits, see? And they want to keep things as they are, I think. It's a bit like how they decorate their homes. They put the table there, and there's this carpet, this great carpet, see, there's the couch, and they don't want it to change because they get used to it, right? Now I walk over here, I can sit in the couch, it's very nice, see, there's the table, I put my coffee on the table, right? It's very good for them. It's nice. And then you come along, and this is about how they think, see? And you say, well, you have to think differently. You have been taught things that were wrong, see? And this makes them uncomfortable, and this is very tough for them. Like this thing with the test. People were taught that this test is very, very good. Right? And then you come along and you say, well, I think the test was part of a strategy. They needed a test that would show positive when they wanted it to show positive. They wanted all these cases so that they could get this hysteria going, see? And you talked about this, you said something like this back in 2021. Well, they might have tried to kill you, see? But even today, this is tough. Isn't that amazing? So they were taught all these things, and they were all wrong. Now, in order to understand this, they have to think differently. You see? And they have been thinking like this during their whole lives, maybe. Now they have to change. And this is very, very tough. Like this thing, they were taught that the unvaccinated will get sick. All right? And they believed it. Of course they did. And many of them will die. Maybe all of them will die. The unvaccinated, they will all die. You know, I think maybe a lot of people believe this thing. And now, when they look at what happened, they see that it's the vaccinated who gets sick. And it's like they can't see it. And you mentioned this. You can show statistics. You can show this. The numbers. It's like they don't want to look at it. See? Because it means they will have to change how their houses are decorated. You know, this thing, this little detail, that the unvaccinated will get sick and die. It's been part of their decorations. It's been like maybe a vase or something standing there, right? And it looks very good there. I want to keep that vase. See? And you say, well, this vase is fake. You should get rid of it. And they walk over to the vase and hold on to it. No, I really like this vase, you know. I put flowers in it sometimes. It's very nice, see. So you are still a threat to them. Because you try to move their table. You talk about their carpets and you say, well, this carpet, this blue one, it stinks. Get rid of it. You are still bad. When it comes to this thing with COVID. So, do you stop talking about this? I know many people did. They don't talk about it anymore. Because you get this very strange reaction from people still. And you think that these people are too stupid to talk to, right? Maybe. Well, I just keep talking. And I wonder why sometimes. I just talk to people about this thing. But I think it's mainly because of my own entertainment. I get entertained by this, watching them, see what happens to them when I bring this up again. It's just fun. See? I think this is why I do it. And it's like an experiment that I do. You know, what can I say? What kind of questions can I ask them to get a reaction? Can I change the way their homes look? Maybe I can. And I want to keep doing it. All right. Be good.